Welcome to a story darker and stranger than you could ever imagine. Did you know that daily bathing, brushing your teeth, and even changing clothes regularly are all very recent luxuries in the long flow of human history? A little over a century ago, bathing was frowned upon in many societies, and in the Middle Ages, it was even condemned as sinful. Louis XIV of France, hailed as the most Christian king, reportedly lived 76 years without a single bath. So why did people of the past avoid bathing? And in an era without soap, without toilets, without even toilet paper, how did they survive? Tonight, we pull back the curtain of glamour and enter the filth, stench, and superstition that ruled everyday life in the ancient and medieval world. In the ancient world, cleanliness was not a sin, it was a symbol of power. The mighty Roman Empire built aqueducts, sewers, and above all, bathhouses that dazzled the ancient world. For the Romans, bathing was not merely about hygiene. It was a daily ritual, a social event, even a political tool. The emperors understood this well. By funding public baths, they displayed their wealth and generosity while binding the loyalty of their people. And so, from the richest senators to the humblest slaves, all could step into these marble halls, pay a tiny fee, and immerse themselves in hot water, cold water, and even steam rooms. These bathhouses were not just for washing. They were gyms, massage parlors, meeting halls, and theaters of gossip. People shaved, exercised, gambled, made deals, and whispered secrets in the rising steam. Some stayed inside for 8 hours at a time. But behind the marble walls and mosaics lay something darker. The obsession with cleanliness masked an invisible danger. Shared sponges, reused tools, and crowded waters spread parasites and diseases silently, long before anyone understood the existence of bacteria. What was once a pride of Rome would later become, in Christian eyes, the very image of decadence and sin. As the Roman Empire collapsed, so too did its obsession with water and baths. Christianity spread across Europe, carrying with it a new moral code. Cleanliness of the soul, not the body, became the ultimate virtue. To monks and priests of the early Middle Ages, frequent bathing was not a mark of purity but of temptation. Bathhouses, once filled with laughter and steam, were now condemned as places of sin, indulgence, and even lust. To soak in warm water was to open the pores, and, they believed, open the door for disease and the devil himself. Public bathhouses were soon abandoned or converted into dens of prostitution. Fear of leprosy, syphilis, and the plague turned people away from communal waters. And so, for centuries, the act of cleansing the body became an object of suspicion. Even royalty embraced this strange logic. Queen Isabella of Castile, the woman who sent Columbus across the seas, is said to have bathed only twice in her entire life. Once when she was born, and once on the eve of her wedding. To be covered in fleas and lice was no shame. It was a sign of piety. The result was a Europe drowning, not in water, but in filth. Castles reeked of human waste. Nobles stank in their silks, and the streets ran thick with garbage. For the first time in history, to smell foul was not disgraceful, it was normal. In a world where bathing was rare, people turned to desperate and disturbing methods to maintain what they thought was hygiene. For women of the Renaissance, pale skin with rosy cheeks was the height of beauty. But without modern makeup, they resorted to a grotesque ritual, placing leeches on their faces to suck out blood, leaving behind a ghostly pallor and crimson blush. It was beauty bought at the price of pain, blood loss, and even death. Hair, too, was not spared. Blonde locks were seen as angelic, but nature had not blessed everyone. So women bleached their hair with concoctions of saffron, onion skins, alum, and even urine, sitting for hours in the sun. Their faces covered, while their scalps burned. And then there were the eyes. To make pupils appear large and dreamy, women dripped belladonna, deadly nightshade, into their eyes. The poison widened the pupils but slowly destroyed their sight. Some women went blind, all in the pursuit of beauty. Even cleaning relied on strange substances. With no soap at hand, servants used buckets of urine to wash clothes, its ammonia bleaching out stains. The rich masked foul odors with perfumed oils, scented sachets, and flowers strewn across palace floors. But underneath the fragrance, the rot never truly disappeared. This was not hygiene. It was theater, a desperate attempt to hide the decay. For centuries, filth was normal. Fleas, lice, and foul odors were accepted as part of life. To be unwashed was not shameful, it was expected. But history was about to turn. By the 18th and 19th centuries, science began to reveal the terrifying truth. Invisible enemies, germs, and bacteria were the real cause of disease. What once was thought to be divine punishment or bad air was now understood as microbial infection. Suddenly, cleanliness was not vanity, but survival. Soap, once rare and expensive, became mass-produced. Cities built sewage systems, clean water supplies, and public baths. Doctors began preaching the importance of hand washing, while perfumes shifted from covering filth to complementing hygiene. And slowly, the standards changed. Bathing became a daily ritual, not a sin. Washing clothes and brushing teeth became a necessity. The stench of medieval palaces was replaced by tiled bathrooms and running water. The irony is clear. Those who once prided themselves on avoiding water would be horrified by the modern obsession with it. Today, a single skipped shower can feel uncomfortable, even shameful. Yet only a few centuries ago, queens, kings, and peasants alike lived and died in a haze of filth. From Isabella of Castile, who allegedly bathed only twice in her lifetime, to Versailles, where royalty waded through excrement. The story of hygiene is the story of civilization itself, a reminder that what we now take for granted, a bar of soap, a clean glass of water, was once unthinkable luxury.